Another MLB postseason is in the books, and it was one of the most exciting in history. We're bringing our baseball experts Matt Holzapfel and Jimmy Longo into the studio to recap the biggest storylines as we wrap up the season. So guys, what or who was the biggest surprise of the playoffs?
I'm going to go with the Dodgers. Very surprised. I thought that the Diamondbacks were going to beat them. And I thought it was going to be like a little more interesting.
The team with the best record in baseball, you thought they weren't going to make it out of the AL or the NLDS, rather?
They're so inconsistent, and especially in the playoffs, we saw it. I mean, the World Series.
They made the World Series.
Yeah, but they make mistakes. They make simple mistakes like not starting Clayton Kershaw, your best pitcher in Game 7, biggest game. Everything's on the line in Game 7. Don't start him.
But even with that, they're just so much farther ahead than every other team in the NL. It seemed like in the playoffs, it was like a shoo-in. Everyone said they're going to make the World Series, they're going to win. And they got to that last step, and obviously the Astros were fantastic. But we always say that about the first team, and I just didn't feel it this year with them. I mean, Yasiel Puig and Cody Bellinger and Corey Seager all had great regular seasons. Don't get me wrong, but have they gotten to that stage where they could be consistent in the postseason? And I wasn't sure that they were going to be consistent.
So you weren't surprised that they lost?
I was surprised that they made it that far.
Oh, gotcha. Matt, who are you going with?
I said the Yankees. I think for such a young team to do so well in the playoffs, winning 4 straight, winner-go-home games, that was huge for them, for their confidence as a young team, and especially when people didn't even expect them to go outside of the wild card game against the Twins.
Okay, let me disagree with you on this. I was sitting in an office in July, and I looked on the computer, and I saw Brian Cashman making these trades, wheeling and dealing, by the way. Sonny Gray, David Robertson, Todd Frazier, these guys are big guys. And he was swinging for the fences. Let me tell you, he was not settling. He wasn't settling for a wild card loss. He was trying to get
beat the
to the World Series.
They're going to beat the team with the second best record in baseball and make it to the ALCS.
I mean, he was going
that
for
was a huge surprise, and it was great for the Yankees organization.
With the offense that the Yankees had with Judge
You were not surprised.
I wasn't surprised at all.
This was supposed to be a rebuilding year. All this young talent coming up, making
the beginning of the year,
debuts.
and then the All-Star break happened, and it just blew everything wide open.
They're a surprise for the whole season then, not just for the playoffs. The whole season was shocking, was excellent for the Yankees organization. Obviously, losing to the world champion Astros eventually is fine because they went on to win the World Series.
The season is over this year. Let's move on to next year. Are the Astros going to do it again next year?
No.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Okay, let's hear reasoning.
First of all, we look at guys like Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa. They're the core of the Astros lineup, right? George Springer has this amazing postseason coming out party, World Series MVP. Now they have this 3-headed monster of Springer, Correa, and Altuve who are just absolutely going to light it up on the offensive side of the ball. And then when you look at defense last year, not even defense, pitching, Dallas Keuchel, Lance McCullers, Charlie Morton all had injury-plagued seasons.
Let's go back to the Yankees and let's talk about how young they are. They are probably the youngest team. Yes, they're winning the World Series next year.
No Astros.
Quote me on that. I'm telling you, 241 home runs, 821 RBIs, and their ERA combined was 3.33.
Well, I guess, I don't know about you guys, but I'm already counting down to opening day.
Me too.
And with that, the MLB season is officially over. We are now into free agency, and I will be taking my talents elsewhere while Thomas comes back to discuss the MLS playoffs.